Hello and welcome to the Info today. Today I am going to be reviewing a piece from my collection of wall hangers. This specific piece is a Kit Rae piece. Uh, it's a fantasy dagger knife thing. I don't know. I got it because I think it looks cool. I think this is a beautiful piece of art. Um, you can see etchings here and here, and let me bring my phone closer. Really, really beautiful. Just gorgeous, really. And the other side has those same etchings. And you can see there's even beautiful, intricate work set up all along this handle, this spike thing in the center of it. And it's actually quite hefty for something of this size. Very, very hefty, in fact. This thing's about 1.5 pounds, which might not sound very heavy to you, but for such a small weapon, it feels quite heavy in the hand. And it actually, what I am doing here is I'm going to be reviewing this wall hanger as if it was a real weapon, because it's supposed to be a fantasy weapon that Kit Rae designed, and it's just not a weapon. So I wanted to review it and tell you why this is a beautiful piece of art, absolutely gorgeous, but not a weapon at all. If I had to go into a battle, this would not be anything I would grab. I would take pretty much anything over this, even just an ordinary dagger or knife I would take before this thing. And these are the reasons why. Alright, so if we're looking at this, obviously you're meant to hold it here, with that thing, this spike thing, just sticking up in the middle and between your hands being an inconvenience. And holding it like this, it just doesn't feel very comfortable in the hand. It actually feels more comfortable to hold it here at the tips of my fingers, but that's not very stable. And as far as punching and stuff, I'm punching. I'm supposed to bend my wrist back to be able to attack? That doesn't make much sense. And on top of that, if you look at the design of it, the blade is here on the inside, which makes absolutely no sense to me because the outside is non-bladed. So you can't slash. If you go to slash, look at this, I'm able to just whack all I want. I don't know if you can hear the metal tinging, but not bladed at all. So this creates the issue of I can't slash with it, because no matter how I try to slash, I hit a back of a blade. I don't hit an actual blade. So I can't attack with these blades. What good are they doing me? I mean, I guess if I was to take it and get it around... No, my throat's not quite small enough for that. It gets stuck on the edges. Don't want to cut myself and puncture anything. Because actually, for some weird reason, the edges and especially the tips are very, very sharp. Kind of hurt a little. Nothing bad, though. Anyways, it makes no sense to have this bladed. All that's going to happen is if you do stab somebody, your hand's going to slip forward and you might cut yourself. You can't use the blade at all. So there is no point to that. It would make much more sense if it was bladed here on the outside and smooth here and non-bladed here on the inside, so that no risk to hurt yourself and you could slash. And on top of that, when it comes to piercing, because of the fact that the outside is at the back of the blade, and the blade is on the inside and even curves inwards away from where the pierce would happen, you're only going to get to pierce a short distance before it just stops. Very, very small amount. So it's not even going to be an effective thrusting weapon. I can't slash with it. I can't cut in any way. I can barely poke you with it. Uh, what? What? How is this a weapon? And on top of that, if you look at the way I hold it here, do you see the spike that if I move it, it I don't know if you can see this on the camera. If I move like that, yeah, I think you can see that. It's poking into my wrist. It wants to stab me. And it's not sharp, thankfully. This side is not sharp. However, it's designed to look sharp, and I think it's supposed to be if it was a real weapon. And so that would just slit my wrist open. And then I couldn't use my hand and fight, and I would die. It's not so much an issue on the other side. There is a spike there, but as much as I move my hand around and try, I can't poke myself with that one. So it's not as big a thing there. You could keep that there for whatever reason it's there. I don't understand why, but it could be there if you just want a nice fantasy looking element sort of thing. Another thing is when it comes to parrying or whatever, that's a big thing with a crossguard or something, and if you don't have that, you want a shield. You can't really parry with this. It wouldn't be effective. You have no hand protection for one, so if you try, you're going to probably get your fingers cut off. If that doesn't happen, it's going to hit the side, and because it's curved and has nothing to catch it, it's going to bounce off and strike you, or it's going to bounce off the other side and strike your arm. Regardless of which way it goes, you're in trouble. You can't use this thing for defense. You can't use it for offense. It's just nothing but a weight in your hand. And like I said, it's a pretty decent weight. It feels pretty heavy, so it's a cumbersome weight at that. And there's no point to it. It is a danger. I'm going to hurt myself. I'm going to cut my wrist. I can't use it in any effective way. So yes, this is a beautiful piece of art. You could maybe hang it from a helmet, use it like a bit of a face guard. Again, you wouldn't really want the blades or the sharp points, so you'd probably cut the points off and dull the blades. But yeah, it kind of looks like it'd be an okay face guard, right? They could, this is solid metal here, the handle, so they could turn this into wood, and that would make it lighter and feel nicer in the hand. They could get rid of the spike that's stabbing me, and that would make it more usable. Also, I don't know what this little spike here in the center is supposed to do exactly. I mean, like I said, you can't pierce very far, so it's going to get stuck. You're never going to get anywhere near that. It's not offering any sort of protection for the hand. And unless I'm squeezing super tight inwards and gripping it, it doesn't keep my hand from sliding up to hit the blades. And if I'm attacking somebody, I'm going to be gripping down on the handle, not inwards onto this little spike thing. So I'm still going to slip up and cut my hands. So just not a weapon. This is a beautiful piece of art, and don't get me wrong, I got it. I actually bought two of them, so I'd have a set, one for each hand for cosplaying and pictures and stuff, because it does look awesome. I mean, look at this thing. It's beautiful. However, it would not be my choice of battlefield weapon. It would make nowhere near my list of choices because it's just not useful in that regard. And even with the changes I said, if you were to get rid of this spike, if you were to get rid of the spikes down here that are poking you, if you were to blade the outside, it's still not a very good weapon. It would actually be a weapon as compared to just a piece of art, which is what this is. But it would be a pretty ineffective weapon, and you wouldn't see it on the battle really. Maybe as a sidearm in place of a dagger, if the person had strange tastes or whatever. And you would also probably want to extend the handle here so that you had some kind of guard to catch a weapon that hit off the side. And if you did want to keep the spike, you would extend some kind of handle here in the middle to protect your hand, and that would make it a little more effective. So I could see how it could be turned into an okay weapon, especially for if you wanted it for like gladiator fights or something as compared to actual combat. Or that is actual combat, but as compared to actual war. However, for actual battles on the battlefield in medieval times, if you were somehow back there and this was an option for weapons on the table, don't grab it. this is not a weapon. This is going to get you killed. So, pick something better. Pick a sword if it's available, or a polearm. Pick an axe. Pick a dagger, or even a kitchen knife before this useless piece of junk. Because it's nice to hang on the wall, it's nice to cosplay with. You might make an okay mask, but that's all you're going to get out of this. So, that is my opinion on this particular dagger, knife, weapon, whatever it is. Let me know what you think about it, if you would want to use this in battle. I've got a few others that I'm thinking about doing these reviews on. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time here at the Infiverse on whatever videos I choose to do here in the Infinite Realm.